The Champions League brings together the best teams in the world, but every club has one player who stands out above the rest. So in this video, we'll see who's the best player from each of the 36 clubs in the 2025-26 Champions League. If the team you support is playing it, you better watch out for these players. Starting with the smallest club, Kairat Almaty from Kazakhstan, with the best player being the striker Dastan Satpaev. This guy was the club's top scorer in the Champions League path, and he was even bought by Chelsea, but he's still 17 years old, so he'll only go there next season. Now after Almaty, the next smallest club is Pafos from Cyprus, whose best player is the Portuguese midfielder Pepe. He's the leader of Pafos midfield, even winning the award for the best player in the Cypriot League. And we'll go from the least valuable clubs all the way to the most valuable team playing the Champions League. Now after Pafos, we move on to Qarabag, with the best player being the right winger Leandro Andrade from Cape Verde. This guy was Qarabag's top scorer last season with 17 goals, also becoming the top scorer of the Azerbaijani league. In addition, he also provided 10 assists. But the market value of the whole Qarabag squad is just 25 million euros, so the next club literally doubles that. Bodo Glimt, worth over 50 million euros. And the best player of this squad is the midfielder Patrick Berg. He wears the number 7 shirt and is the captain of Bodo Glimt, leading the team during their historic run to the Europa League semi-final in 2025. Against Lazio, he even earned an incredible 8.4 SofaScore rating. But now let's climb one more step, to a club worth over 70 million, Union Saint-Gilloise. This club is also playing the Champions League for the first time, and their best player is the Canadian Promise David. In the 2024-25 season, he became the club's top scorer with 24 goals and even provided 5 assists, helping his club to win the Belgian Championship for the first time in 90 years. So at 24 years old, he also earned his very first call-up for the Canadian national team. But if this club is making their very first Champions League appearance, the next team is way more experienced in the competition. Copenhagen, with the best player being the left-back Marcos Lopez. He's from Peru, and before joining Copenhagen, he played for Feyenoord, where he won the domestic double. Now he's a key player for Copenhagen. By the way, if you think that the best player from any of these clubs is another guy, feel free to comment down below. But now we move one step higher. It's a club valued at over 100 million. Slavia Prague, the current Czech Championship winners, with their best player being the number 17 Lukas Provod. At 28 years old, this attacking midfielder also plays for the Czech national team. He's so skillful that he was once named the Czech League Player of the Year and even made it into the Europa League Squad of the Season in 2021. So he's the most important Slavia Prague player today. Now a team with a similar market value than Slavia Prague is the current champions of Greece, Olympiakos. And among their players, the best one is a striker who has already played in 2 World Cups, Mehdi Taremi, who played for Iran at the 2018 and 2022 World Cup. In his career, he scored over 90 goals for Porto, and he also helped Inter Milan to reach the Champions League final, even providing an assist in the semi-final against Barcelona. So he's the best Olympiakos player. But if Taremi today is not at the peak of his career, the best player from Club Brugge is the winger Christos Tolles. He's from Greece, where he was once voted PAOK's best player. Then he moved to Club Brugge, and in the 2024-25 season, he reached 37 goal contributions, 21 goals and 16 assists, including 4 goal involvements in the Champions League. The German website Transfermarkt even named him the best player of the Belgian league in 2025. No wonder he alone has a market value of 25 million euros, literally double the entire squad of Kairat. But still, that's nothing compared to the players that will show up. And now after Club Brugge, we arrive at the 4-time Champions League winner Ajax. And their best player is a Dutch midfielder called Kenneth Taylor. He's 23 years old and has played for Ajax since the academy, becoming a great playmaker. He can play in any midfield position, has incredible game intelligence and is very consistent. He was even voted by the fans as Ajax's best player of the 2024-25 season. But Ajax didn't win the Dutch league last season. The current champions are PSV, with their best player being a very experienced guy, Ivan Perisic. At 36 years old, Perisic has already won several titles in his career, including the Champions League with Bayern, and even helped Croatia reach the World Cup final. Now he's a key piece for PSV, so much so that he had 27 goal contributions last season. Now after PSV, we arrive at Villarreal, a team that just made their most expensive signing in history to bring Georgia's Mikel Tetze. He's from Georgia and came from Lyon for 31 million, Villarreal's record. And it's for a good reason. Last season with Lyon, he had 28 goal contributions. And back in 2023 with Metz, he was a top scorer of the French 2nd division, even winning the Player of the Season award. And a team with an even higher market value is Galatasaray. And now things start getting serious, cause their best player is Victor Osimhen. When he left Napoli to join Galatasaray, many thought it was the wrong move. But he's been absolutely unstoppable. Last season, he played 41 matches for Galatasaray and had 45 goal contributions, 37 goals and 8 assists, finishing as both the champion and the top scorer of the Turkish league. So he's also the most valuable player in the squad. But a team with an even higher market value than Galatasaray is Frankfurt, a club that sold one of their best players, but they also brought in others, and who can be considered the best player is the winger Ritsu Doan. He plays for Japan's national team, and last season with Freiburg, he recorded 18 goal contributions in the Bundesliga. Probably won't take long before he gets transferred again. Climbing further up in the market value ladder, we arrive at Monaco. Monaco has plenty of talented players, but in terms of pure quality and skill, the best is Paul Pogba. In late 2023, Pogba was caught using a substance that increases testosterone levels, so he was banned from football for almost 2 years. But once his suspension ended, he signed with Monaco. However, because of his age and his long suspension, he's not the most valuable player at the club, but he's the best one. He has amazing skills, vision, accurate passing, and even scored in a World Cup final. Now leaving Monaco, the best player from Benfica is also a World Cup winner, Nicolas Otamendi. Otamendi has been at Benfica for 5 years. Playing as a center back, he's also the club's captain with over 200 matches played. He is still unbelievably consistent. Over the last 12 months, his average SofaScore rating was 7.4. That's impressive, especially considering he's already 37 years old. But if Otamendi is very experienced, the best player at Athletic Club Bilbao is young, Nico Williams. His speed and dribbling makes him not only the best player, but also the most valuable one in the entire squad. At 23, he wears the shirt number 10 and also won a title with his national team. Nico Williams even turned down an offer from Barcelona just to stay at Bilbao, where he's been since the academy. Now leaving Athletic Bilbao, we move on to Bayer Leverkusen. They sold Wirtz and Frimpong to Liverpool, Xhaka to Sunderland, and the list goes on. But one player who stayed is Patrick Schick. In the 2024-25 season, even with Wirtz still in the squad, Patrick Schick was the club's top scorer with 27 goals. He's already got over 100 goal contributions for Bayer Leverkusen, and he's not stopping there. He even extended his contract until 2030, so he's the best player there. Now we pass the 400 million euro mark to go to the next club, Olympique Marseille, with the best player being the striker Aubameyang. Last season, Aubameyang played in the Saudi League, where he scored 21 goals for Al Qadsiya, and in the season before that with Marseille, he finished as the Europa League top scorer with 10 goals. So even though he's 36 years old, Aubameyang is Marseille's best player. And after Marseille, the best player of Borussia Dortmund is also an African striker, Serhou Guirassy. This forward from Guinea became the joint top scorer of the last Champions League alongside Rafinha. He's such a finisher that against Barcelona, he even scored a hat-trick. In the 2024-25 season, Guirassy scored 38 goals. But the player with the most goals in the 2024-25 season was Gyökeres, who scored 54 goals for Sporting. But Sporting sold him. So without Gyökeres, the club's best player is the 25-year-old Francisco Trincão. He once played for Barcelona, where he couldn't really fit in, but when Sporting signed him, he grew a lot. From the right wing, he already surpassed 70 goal contributions for Sporting. And over the last 12 months, he had an average SofaScore rating of 7.34. That's a great consistency. Moving on, we arrive at Atalanta, with the best player being the forward Ademola Lookman. He played for Everton, Leipzig, Leicester, but it's at Atalanta where he's been shining the most. In the 2024-25 Serie A season, he had 20 goal contributions, 15 goals and 5 assists. But even more impressive was in the 2024 Europa League final, where he scored a hat-trick against Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen to win the trophy. He's from Nigeria, and because of that, he went on to win the African Player of the Year award. But Atalanta wasn't Serie A champion in 2025. That title went to Napoli, a team that signed their best player, Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne has so many individual awards, it's impossible to list them all here. He's been in the Champions League, Squad of the Season 6 times, UEFA Team of the Year 3 times, and even finished 3rd in the Ballon d'Or. With him, Man City won everything. So even though he's 34 years old, he's definitely Napoli's best player. Now, a team ahead of Napoli in market value is Juventus, but their best player isn't as decorated as De Bruyne, which is the winger Kenan Yildiz. He wears the number 10 shirt, and for good reason. He's a natural dribbler with incredible skill, also helping Juventus with 21 goal contributions last season. But in terms of titles, Kenan Yildiz doesn't have much to celebrate yet. His only professional trophy so far was the Italian Cup in 2024. But if the best player from Juventus didn't win much titles yet, the best player from Atletico Madrid has won it all. Julian Alvarez. He's only 25 years old, but there's literally nothing left for him to conquer. He's won the Copa Libertadores, Premier League, FA Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, UEFA Super Cup, and even the Champions League. And more than that, 2 Copa Americas, the Finalissima with Argentina, and the World Cup. But Alvarez isn't just lucky to play for winning teams, he's also an amazing striker. In the 2024-25 season for Atletico, he had 37 goal contributions, including 7 goals in the Champions League. This guy is world class. But a team with an even bigger market value than Atletico Madrid is Newcastle, with their best player today being the defensive midfielder Bruno Guimarães. He's been at Newcastle since 2022, and even playing as a midfielder, he already has more than 50 goal contributions for the club. And he's so important that he's actually the captain of the team, being a starter in literally every single game of the last Premier League season. Didn't miss a single one. That's why he's also their most valuable player. Now the next team with an even bigger squad value than Newcastle is Inter Milan, and their best player is a guy who already finished 7th in the Ballon d'Or, Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro has been at Inter since 2018, but his absolute peak came in 2024, when he was a top scorer of the Serie A and led Inter to their 20th league title. He was then nominated for the Ballon d'Or, besides helping them to reach 2 Champions League finals and even won the World Cup with Argentina. Now the best player from Tottenham is their new signing, Xavi Simons. Since Son left the club, Simons is the best one. He's an attacking midfielder with incredible vision and insane consistency. In the last 12 months, his average SofaScore rating was 7.45. Also for Leipzig, in the 2022-23 season, he had 33 goal contributions, the following year he had 25, and in the season after that he had 19. But if Xavi Simons now plays for Tottenham, the best player of Bayern Munich came from Tottenham, Harry Kane. Harry Kane has been one of the best signings in Bayern's history. He joined in 2023 and in his very first season scored 44 goals, winning the European Golden Shoe. Then in the following season he scored another 41 goals. He's so good that in his first 100 games for Bayern, he reached 119 goal contributions. His only problem? The lack of titles. But if Kane doesn't have much trophies, the next player actually conquered the treble. Ousmane Dembélé, the best player of Paris Saint-Germain. In the 2024-25 season, Dembélé had a season so insane that he probably never beat it. He won the treble, the UEFA Super Cup, and was the most decisive player, with 51 goal contributions, 35 goals and 16 assists. It was truly the season of his life. The only trophy he missed was the Club World Cup, won by Chelsea, where Cole Palmer was named the best player of the tournament, scoring 2 goals and providing an assist in a 3-0 win over PSG. Palmer is by far Chelsea's best player, with incredible finishing, creativity to build attacks, and being ice cold under pressure. No wonder he's one of the most valuable players in the world. But if Palmer is one of the most valuable players, Barcelona's star is literally the most valuable of all, Lamine Yamal. The youngster with one of the most meteoric careers ever. He turned 17 at the UEFA Euro, won the tournament, being one of Spain's main players, and after that had a monster season for Barcelona. 18 goals and 25 assists, 43 goal contributions. So deservingly, he earned the legendary number 10 at Barca. And now at 18 years old, he's the most promising player in football. That's why his 200 million euro market value is totally justified. Now leaving Barcelona, we arrive at Liverpool, the club that spent the most in the transfer window. But their best player is still the same, Mohamed Salah, who had his best ever Premier League performance. His best Premier League season was the 2017-18, where he had 43 goal contributions. But in 2024-25, he scored 29 goals and provided 18 assists, reaching 47 goal contributions in the Premier League alone. So despite being already 33, he's Liverpool's best player. Now after Liverpool, we move to Man City, which has a Ballon d'Or winner. But Roger was out injured for a whole year. So today, the best player is the striker Erling Haaland. He already has 148 goal contributions in 149 games for City, being an average of 41 goals per season. The 2024-25 season was bad for City, where they didn't win any trophies, but Haaland still scored 34 goals. However, there's another English club ahead of City in market value, Arsenal, worth over 1.3 billion. Arsenal has so many stars, it's hard to pick just one, but a player that can be considered as the best is Bukayo Saka. Saka is an incredible dribbler, very fast, skillful and decisive. Last season, in 37 matches, he had 26 goal contributions. And not only that, up to the recording of this video, he has Arsenal's highest average rating on SofaScore in the last 12 months, 7.45. But now we finally reached the most valuable club in Europe, Real Madrid, a team full of world-class players. But today, the best one is the guy who also won the European Golden Shoe, Kylian Mbappé. He scored 44 goals last season, including a hat-trick against Man City and another hat-trick against Barcelona. So among all Madrid players, Mbappé stands as the very best. So what did you think of this video? If you enjoyed it, I think you're gonna like this one too. So thanks for watching and bye!